Yeah, hello everyone. I just thought I'd do a little video. Not been too active today. I've had swollen ankles, um, which is really random. But they're going down now. I had to dial the NHS place. Apparently fluid or something. Um, but I'm up moving about now. Anyway, I'm just gonna put the phone on here, guys. Just gonna roll a little smoke. Oh, not even the first time I've been up today, really. Didn't get up to about 3 or 4 o'clock. I'm not even really up now. Um, I had a great sleep though for about 13 hours. Um, the life of an ADHD sleeper. Anyway, I got my last little bit of smoke, which is probably going to do me a one oneer. But I've got to go out and get some. I've been talking to my person, and it's on, so it's all good. In fact, I might even take you on a live trip tonight. Obviously not giving away the location. Picking up tonight. Oh, or in a minute, whenever the phone goes. But what I'm going to try and do first is get a coffee in. Because I woke up, for some reason, electricity had tripped out. Oh, but anyway, I've got it on. Trying to rustle up some energy, guys. Even two. Oh, I've done one about 10 o'clock. I did a amphetamine pill, dexamphetamine, 20 milligrams. Would get you lot up running around like fucking a Duracell bunny. Just puts me asleep, man, for about another 4 or 5 hours. I've had another one about an hour, well, 3/4 of an hour ago, half hour ago. But it's drifting away, man. Drifting away. But it's all good, though. It's all good. Oh, I'm getting old, man. Even getting up's an effort, mate. Crazy, innit? Anybody else getting old out there? Feeling it? Maybe it's just because I'm hyperactive and all that, innit? As well. Fuck me. I hope I don't get into my 70s and that, the old pensioner years, and I'm fucking still running around here like a blue ass fly. Fuck. Put me in a Zimmer frame and I'll still be zimming about, do you know what I mean? I bet that's what it's like. I bet it don't. It's been with me all my life since I come out of the womb. I bet it just don't disappear. The hyperactivity is a nightmare. Some people just have what's called ADD, guys, attention deficit disorder. That's just when they're not paying attention and stuff. I got that as well. But I got the hyperactivity disorder at the end, and it just wears you out, man. Alright, let's get the coffee. Got one of these little coffee bags. Coffee bag, which are lovely. Let's get that kettle on. Oh, feeling a bit strange. Coffee bags, guys. 6 brown sugars. 6, you may ask yourself. Only these things. Totally bike. All my bikes broke, guys, so I'm on my feet. The house looks like it's been invaded by the Luftwaffe. Might put a load of whites on. I'll do that. Should I do that now? Yeah. Rough as that, mate. Rough as that. I'll do that in a minute. Might boil them up a bit. Didn't come out too white last time. I remember my old mother, I was standing here in the kitchen and she used to pull the shit out of them, man. Remember them old twin tubs that used to... She had a twin tub, no, a single thing, like a washing machine. Used to load it up in the top and used to have a big pole and I used to stir it all about. Who remembers them? And them spin dryers, the top loading ones that used to fucking shake about and rip people. And in fact, I've got a story about a woman over the road. My mum was a nurse as well, not just a Vernon's girl, and a singer. My mum was a nurse when she left all the music. And she saved this woman's arm, this woman over the road. Got her arm ripped off in one of them old washing machines. But yeah. Who remembers them? Give me a thumbs up if you remember them old washing machines, man. Fucking hell. No health and safety back there. Me and mother out here. You know what I mean? You just had common sense not to fucking jump in it, didn't you? It was all steaming and going bubbling. You knew not to fucking... But obviously, times have changed, machines have changed, technology's changed. But yeah, they were the good old days, man. I used to go on then, Phil. Big old stick I used to get in there, swirl it about. Used to make a racket as well, didn't they? Them old fucking spin things. Load them at the top, man. You should hold the fucking. You should have to hold the thing down. Crazy days, guys. Crazy days. Good times, man. I can remember getting in that cupboard with the 50p's. I don't know how long you get with your 50p nowadays. Got to tidy up tonight. That's all I'm doing tonight. Tidying up. It's payday at midnight. Might even treat myself to a new record, man. Whoa, that Selector double album, I think. The one that came out on record day. Live at the NEC. On clear vinyl, I think. I might treat myself to 2 or 3 records. I've spent enough on the house for the meantime. In fact, I ain't got to buy nothing. I'm all up to, whenever I start to work again, start feeling chirpy, I've got to clean up, have a tidy up, and then start the work. It's the problem with ADHD, guys, is you make a constant mess and it does your head in. I might have to sit down with my whiteboard and fucking work out a method or a different, just put something down on the board, so I'm working to the board and not working to my ADHD brain, if you understand that. Because my ADHD brain's going from A to Z to B to D to it, you know what I mean? I want to go to A, B, C, D, E, I want to go like that, not the way I'm going. Yeah. Very breezy in Kent, guys, today. So I just got a message from me mate, so it's all good. 20-30 minutes. We'll have a wander down the road. I'll just record it all. Come on my little journey. was going to tell you where. No, I won't tell you nothing. I was going to say how many streets it was away, but obviously you might have some Inspector Clouseaus out there that put that and that together. So we won't be going down that way. So what we do is you'll just come with me on the journey, and it's a faceless journey. I haven't got to see anybody. It gets put somewhere, guys. It gets put somewhere. It's all good. Which gives me time to have this little one skinner and plug my phone in. I'll tell you what's happened. I've spilt a drink during the night, I must have. I've worked out while my electric tripped out. I've kept tripping the sockets out, so I've gone around the sockets and checked every socket. And I've, in this room here, the bedroom, or what I'm using as a bedroom, I must have fucking been half asleep and kicked out a can of drink over. It's gone over a socket, I think, and then tripped it out. And then obviously, when I've gone to trip it back up, it's just tripping it out. But yeah, unplug the socket. I can't see where the cable goes. There's so much shit in here. But I will find that tonight. I haven't got to go to the shop tonight. Normally I have a midnight cycle to the shop and payday because I've run out of baccy, but I've actually got loads of baccy, so I'm going to pop in the shop in a minute. As you'll see, a little chocolate attack. Some chocolate and some milk I've got to get for me Rosie Lee's and the coffees. Biker guys, cyclist. I've got about 4 bikes and all broke. My brain really can't get into a repair mode at the moment. All I'm into is making a mess mode. So we've got to get out of that making a mess mode and get into a proactive, active mode. I'm actually being proactive. I'm excited about that. I think I've covered the camera. Anyway, I'm just going to stop this video. Put out a little teaser for this video coming. Yeah, just carrying on my little video from earlier. Oh, I'll start getting brain into active mode, guys. Sitting there on the bed naked, apart from this top, so got to get dressed and up and moving. Try and locate some pound coins. I think I got £1.15 in the bank, and I think we've got about £3 downstairs, so we're rich. At midnight, get paid, get what's called my personal independence payments. That's basically, used to be called DLA, I think, disability living allowance, but I wasn't on it then. I've only been on that since I sort of kind of got my diagnosis and that. I've got to say, it's just quite a good thing. It's basically not about your PIP, personal independence payments. It's not about what illness you've got. You can have my illnesses, or disorders, and then not affect you. So obviously, it's the personal independence payments is about how it affects you, and obviously because my disorders fucking interfere with me quite a bit, as you know, that entitles me to that because it affects my life quite a bit. And sometimes, well, a lot of the time I pay sort of more money to get to where I need to be. That's not a place, by the way. It's in life, basically, where you might be able to go, I want to go to A to B. But I'm not. I'm going to A to C. But with the personal independence payments, it enables me to go to A to B. Like a normal person be able to go to A to B, but I can't. I have to go to A to C. So if you make sense of that at all, I don't know. But yeah, that's how that works, guys. It's quite a good thing, really. There's two parts of it. You've got a care component, and then you've got a mobility component of it. I'm a bit, well, to be honest, I'm a bit confused about exactly what I get now. Since obviously COVID and all the palaver with the bills and all that, they had to put all the benefits up, I think, right across the board, all to the young mums, to everybody who claims any sort of benefit. Most people do claim something, or will do at some point. Yeah, they had to put all that up in line with reality. It's all because Maggie Thatcher sold us down the river, mate, years ago. Otherwise, we'd be in control of all these things. We'd have our own power and stuff like that. But now it's just all imported in. Yeah. And I get that paid month, that gets paid every 4 weeks. Um, I'm actually classed, guys. I'm actually classed as severely disabled, even though I can run a marathon. Obviously, it's not just physical. It used to be just physical, guys, but obviously now it's not. But not much. Obviously, there's a lot of people with. I've got depression and anxiety. I'm down for as well, but I'm not. I don't interfere with my life now. I don't think. But yeah, I should have thought people that are just on depression and anxiety, haven't got the ADHD and all that stuff. I've got extra. Can probably claim that as well. I'm not too sure. It would all depend on how it affects your day-to-day life. But I've got to say, getting diagnosed with what I've got at age 50 is fucking mind-blowing. I've got to say. When you can put two and two together eventually and works out why you've had a fucking colourful life and gone down the road you've gone down, well, you get an answer for that. And you've never had an answer for that in all your life. All your life you've just been labelled and put in that category and this category and just written off. You get diagnosed with this, your brain comes back, man. All them fucking high functioning things I couldn't do, I'm thinking, you know what I mean, my brain's functioning now higher than it ever did. Which is actually true, you know. If you've got a kid with autism, well, let's just forget the autism. Let's go with the ADHD, which a lot of kids probably, people watching this probably got kids, might have kids with ADHD, or you might have a niece or a nephew or a grandkid that will grow up and have ADHD. And I've just completely forgot what I was talking about. Which is again the ADHD. That's the ADD I was talking about, the attention deficit disorder. But that'll come back to me. But it was a good point that I had. It's gone. The brain is a wonderful thing. Just mine works at 100 miles an hour. Now that's what I was going to say. It's come back to me. You get a kid right with sit a kid down in the classroom, let's talk about academic stuff. It's talking about brain power now. You get a kid, not like when I was at school, non-medicated, you're going to struggle. You get a kid medicated at school with the normal kid. The kid with ADHD, he can do what's called hyper-focusing, which I can do. I can focus right in on things I like. And if he's hyper-focusing, he'll focus more than the normal kid. And he'll actually outdo the normal kid. You might say, oh yeah, that's because he's on the Amphet. No, all that Amphet's doing is levelling these chemicals out in his brain, the same as the other kid. It's where he's never been on a level playing field before, chemical-wise, with the other kid, which is why he's struggled. You get what I'm saying now, people? It's quite simple, really, when I put it in terms like that. It's quite mind-blowing, really, when you get into ADHD and all the precise details of what chemicals you want about. I mean, where are they? It's all in the brain, man. It's all in the brain. 3 main chemicals in the brain. And serotonin, one of them. That's the depression one. If you've got low serotonin, you probably got depression. Even though long-term use of ecstasy can cause serotonin depletion. Not that I've got that. Obviously, I've got ADHD, and so my chemicals are all different anyway. But the main feel-good chemical, and the concentrated chemical, is called dopamine, and that's what people with ADHD lack. It's a lack of dopamine. And before I started my ADHD journey, I couldn't have told you any of that. I probably could have done one sentence on it. Is that the naughty boys disorder? That's what I said. That's what I said to my doctor when he said to me, "Have you ever heard of ADHD, Phil?" I said, "Yeah, what's that? The naughty kids disorder, isn't it? Naughty kids disease." That's when he said to me, "Go home and watch the videos on it." But it's ironic because I had conversations with my dad about being a bit crazy in that school. Because I was crazy down there in primary school there. I was a bit off the wall. My dad said, "You asked Phyllis what I was like at school." I said, "Why? What was you like at school?" My dad was just as bad as me, I think. I think if you went down the local primary school down there and got the Naughty Boys book out and went right back, first of all, you'd come across me in the 70s. Yeah, naughty boy. And if you scroll it back to the 40s, you're going to come across my dad. He's going to be in there, naughty boy. You scroll back right the way back to sort of, we're talking the 1900s now. You're going to find my granddad. And he's a naughty boy. He's in there. And that's where my nan and granddad would have met at that school. Back when my village was a very, very lot smaller. And the adjoining village, Golden Green, was even smaller. And there was one classroom. Now they've got 6 or 7 classrooms. When my dad was there, it was one classroom. And the same when my granddad was there. And when I was there, they had an extension on the school, but the old bit of the school was still included in it. So I got the privilege of actually, now I look back, didn't know it at the time, because you don't realise, do you? Now I look back, with hindsight on my side, it's quite nice to have been in the same classroom as what my dad studied in and what my granddad studied in. When I look back, we obviously all played in the same playground. They had a water fountain, which is still there. We all drank out of that fountain. And that spans... You could go forward as well, if I included my family from that, my sister's kids who went there. They wouldn't have got in that bit that I got in, though, because the old bit now is a doctor's surgery, which is all conveyed, you see. Yeah, very old building. A lot of history, I bet. My granddad was one of the kids in the First World War that bullshitted to get in there because he was too young. I suppose a lot of the kids with the ADHD soon put their hands up for a bit of action. They wouldn't need thinking twice. They'd have been the first ones there. And my granddad sort of, like many young men, you had groups, didn't you? Groups from villages and communities. All the pals and that. Regiments. Gives a thumbs up if you're into history and that. And military history of this country. I'm quite into that. Obviously, when your family's all have been there and was in it, you tend to be into it more, don't you? Or I'm into it anyway. Because without these people, we wouldn't certainly be here now. That's for sure. Yeah, my granddad went off on horseback and joined the 8th Royal King's Lancers and was a lancer in the army. And my granddad's job was, you had the big guns. My granddad's job was the big massive field artillery guns. My granddad used to pull them up to the main line with his horse. Your horse was part of you, man. You had to look after your horse, like war horse and all that. My granddad, like war horse, that along them lines. A lot of bullshit in that, but obviously that's what my granddad did. And he never had. I said to my dad, "He ever talked about the war?" Because my dad was in a few things as well, submarine things, Suez Canal conflict. My dad was underwater in a submarine, but I'll tell you about that another day. But my dad said that his old man never uttered a fucking word. But then my granddad died in 1959. I never got to meet my granddad. He was quite young, really, to die. But he, in the First World War, he obviously both sides were letting off a bit of gas. Well, it was the Germans, wasn't it, to start with, I think. Germans let off a lot of gas. And it was all new kind of thing, the gas. And I think my granddad, being up the front and that, putting the artillery, must have got a few lungs full of that. So it didn't do him on the battlefield, so to speak. It made him deteriorate his lungs throughout the years. And obviously the Second World War. The war ended on my dad's 8th birthday. So I got my dad's knowledge from that period, and then I got my granddad. Scouse Irish granddad, who's my mother's father, who was ironically a submariner, as well as my dad. And he was in the Second World War. My granddad from Liverpool, he's got more war medals than we've had hot dinners in his submarine. He got. I could do a whole video on him. He got blew out of his submarine, guys. And, he got washed up on a beach and found by a Chinaman. Then got better and went back. But he wasn't in the Royal Navy to start with. He was like commercial shipping, which all got sunk by the Germans. I think it was then when they see merchant seaman he was. And he'd been doing that since, I've got his record downstairs, he'd been doing that since he was about 14. And he's from a place called Crosby in Liverpool. And he was a deck boy at about age 12, 13. And he saw a lot of action. Put it that way. Then again, a lot of them submariners see a lot of action. Anyway, he was in the merchant navy. I guess he see everyone being sunk by the Germans, and I guess they wanted to do something about it. So he joined the Royal Navy. And how better could you get at them submarines that was bombing your merchant ships by actually getting in the Royal Navy in their submarines? That's what my granddad did. But back then, people was harder, wouldn't they? Imagine if that happened today and kids today had to put their hands up. I don't know what sort of people would be getting out there. But I don't think you'd be getting what you'd be getting first time round. Crazy. History, eh, guys? Let me know in the comments if any of your parents were in any of the forces, or your granddad or anybody was doing anything, let me know, man, what they were in. And your granddad see any action? Obviously mine's a lot Royal Navy related, submarine related. But all my dad's brothers was sort of in something. My oldest uncle, Uncle Tom, Uncle Nob, rest in peace. He was only 17. He got my dad. See, he's a little 6-7-year-old boy at home. His older brother, he's off. He was in a bomber command in Lancaster Bombers at age 17, and I think he was a navigator. Come stroke engineer at age 17. And I said to my dad, obviously the war ended on my dad's 8th birthday, 8th of May 1945, and I said to my dad, "Oh, you never fancied following your big brother then up into the sky?" And my dad said, "Nah, all he knew is that if he waited until he was 18 when national service come along, he'd get put in the army." And he knew there was a lot of marching being done in the army because his dad had told him. Because my granddad had been there and done it, and my dad didn't fancy marching, so he thought he'd go off to sea. And obviously living in Kent, we got Chatham up the road here. You may have heard of Chatham in Kent, big maritime museum now, very famous place. Nelson's date goes right back, man, to the year dot. And my dad said he left school on a Thursday, cycled to Chatham from here, from the next road to me. On a Friday, he joined the Navy on a Monday. So he went off at age 15. He didn't ask to go in the submarine. I think the submarine service back then, probably the same now, they look for people who are a bit off the scale, a bit. They're gonna, you know what I mean? Being underwater in a submarine, you know what I mean? You got pressures, just fear and all sorts of shit that might go through somebody's head. So what they do, they look for people that are a bit harder or look a bit more mentally. Yeah, he's fucking strong, man. He's fucking steaming through everywhere. They look for people like that. And my dad, obviously having his ADHD, looking back now, my dad obviously had a bit about him, bit off the scale, like me. And my dad said he got a call one day. I think my dad was on the frigates and things like that, aircraft carrier my dad's been on. He said he got a call to the office one day, went in there, said, "Right, pack your stuff up. You're off to submarine school." And then my dad did his went to the Royal Navy Technical College. Went to submarine school. Ended up sort of teaching submarines for other young kiddies throughout the 50s. Anyway, guys, catch you in the next bit, which I'll join on to this. Yeah, back again. So I just had to read a text message. Yeah, back to the subject of the war and all that. Let me know if any of your people was in anything. All brave, whoever they were, man. Fucking. Yeah, very lucky we are, man. We could have all had blue hair and blonde eyes, mate. Crazy. Very brave people, men and women, I think. No matter whether they, unless on all sides as well, because at the end of the day, all of them was just carrying out orders, no matter who you were. But yeah, our brave pilots and that up in the sky, the RAF. Then you've got the Royal Navy out there trying to keep our seas safe and on top of the water and underwater. Obviously, you've got the army. getting stuck in. Crazy. Like you look back at the Battle of Britain and that. That's when my dad used to watch that from the next road out in the road. My dad used to say you could hear the Germans going over, and then you'd hear the planes come out of Westmoreland, which is a couple of miles in that direction. You hear the Spitfires going, zoom, zoom, zoom. You hear the engines, my dad said. Very distinctive. And you had a few planes that came down here. You had bombs that was dropped here in my village, so I guess being in Kent, you was going to get it anyway, because that's the first protocol, isn't it? It's the first place they're going to come across is Kent. So Kent got it. I know a lot of places up north and all over got it, but we got it especially bad here. We was the first place they see, so you had some of them German boys, might have been a bit itchy trigger finger, do you know what I mean? I thought, right, fuck it, shit themselves, and a lot of them did, man. A lot of them did probably on both sides, drop the bombs a bit early just to fucking get out the shit, because you're all shitting yourself. I mean, that happened a lot. You can't knock them either. You know what I mean? How can you knock people that are scared shitless that thought, fuck it, we'll just let them, we're over the enemy territory, let's just let them off. And that's what happened. So these bombs come down willy-nilly. But you had the old Doodlebug blew the pub up the road here on the corner. The Broom Pub it was called. Apparently quite a good boozer. My dad informs me, but obviously my dad never drank. Well, my dad went in there with his dad when he was a little boy. But a lot of history around here, man. Because I've been here, and I ain't never been anywhere else. That's all I really know. But saying that, I know quite a bit, really. But it's only really through sitting here with my dad, really getting his stories. I suppose I've had a privilege, really, for me to look after him and bond with him, so I get all his history as well. My dad was like me. He couldn't tell you what he was doing 5 minutes ago, but he'd tell you what he was doing 50 years ago. Get up, man. Get up and get active. Get up and get active, he says at gone 6 o'clock, I think. All I can hear is big dogs barking. It's cold out. Fucking hell. Got to look for some socks now, guys. Sock monster. Fresh skin has made me a bit colder, I think. I need some socks, guys. Well, as well, I'm painting up now. I'm going to finish that tonight. I'm going to clean up. That's going to be. In fact, I'm going to do that as soon as I get back in a minute. Paint that wardrobe out. That's one job done for the night. Then that'll be that wardrobe done. Then I've got to gloss them the wooden bits in there, but because at the minute I've got all my clothes fucking just piled around everywhere, man. It's got to the point where I can't even find a fucking pair of socks, even though I've got plenty in here floating about. Fucking hell, man. There's a pair of trainers that do for the walk down the road. Never roll up. Definitely got to put some socks. Ah, there's a pair of socks there. There's one sock. Where there's one, there isn't another. Fucking hell. Yeah, there's a sock over here, but it's the wrong colour. There we go, look. Matching pair. I might put my coat on to walk down there. Don't look too warm out there, man. Yeah, I've definitely feels my carpet. It feels a bit damp under there, man. Maybe I got up and pissed on the fucking electric plug at night. I don't know what's going on here. I think I've kicked a drink over. I think there's a plastic cup under all this shit. It's going to be a long old video. I think I've recorded this as a third segment. I think the first two segments are 20 minutes plus long. But it does do good to put out these long ones. I do quite like waffling. As you know, you don't need telling. It's been a long time since I just had a roll up. I don't often smoke just a lot of rollies. Obviously, the stash has been depleted. We've depleted one stash. We're going out live on a drug still tonight, so shh. Got my window open. Only joking. Yeah, we're going live out tonight. In fact, I'm going to get off here in a minute. We're going out the door. Got my ankle swollen, man. I've never experienced this before, man. Anyone ever had swollen ankles just randomly? Strange, man. Quite common, apparently, but I've never had it before. Put my Nikes on. Or sneakers, if you're American. Put your sneakers on, because you're off sneaking about. Trainers, sneakers, all the same things, aren't they? Where I come from, this is called trainers. Or that's more commonly used, that word. If you're from the southeast, about 35 miles southeast of London. A man of Kent, not a Kentish man. Even this ankle's still a bit sore, you know. Goes right up your leg. And I was awake through the whole thing. Through the whole process of them swelling up. It's very strange. But I've spoken to a doctor on the phone. Roll up for the walk. For the deal. Anyway guys, I'm going to cut this video off. And I'll join this on to the other bit. Yeah, I'm back again. I still haven't left. Got about 10 minutes, I think. 5 minutes. So I had a comment, a YouTube comment coming in, so I've just nipped out and had a look at that. All I can hear is the wildlife. Lovely. Even all the dogs have stopped barking, man. Must be fucking happy hour in the dog world, I think. Right, got me roll up for the walk. Might put a shirt on. just let her in and a card actually. Must be my bus pass. My replacement one, which should have cost me a tenner, but cost me nothing because I explained to the girl it's part of my ADHD that I lose stuff. It's only still valid till November, and I'll get another one. I've got the English rose on there. Did you know? This is the only document. How sad is this for an Englishman? This is the only document that I've got that's got an England, anything to do with England on it. The rest of it's British. It is this little English rose in the corner. An English cross. Like my English cross there. And basically what that is I got C+ on mine. I can take someone with me as my carer, but I don't need to do that. That's there as an emergency option in case anything had a meltdown or something crazy. But I don't get like, well, I don't get like that, touch wood. I have meltdowns, but I don't usually feel like travelling when I'm melting down. And basically it's got an English rose on it, and what that means is I can go anywhere in England on any English bus. So if you're up north somewhere, I can get to you for free. Take a long time though, travelling up through the network. But still, if you're going on holiday for a trip down to Brighton for the weekend or whatever, gets you there for free. You know. In fact, I'm tempted to take off for a night. Tomorrow night, just take off tomorrow daytime. Just take off. Coventry could be on the two-tone village. Maybe I should take off. Could be a random takeoff. I do random things. I fancy two-tone village, man. Take some records with me, get them signed. Somebody might be up there. Photographs. Stuff for sale, man, in the two-tone village shop. How about that? No, I'll come back skint, man, wouldn't I? I'll do all my PIP in there. They got like specials record, obviously. Home of two-tone, you're getting it all, aren't you? But there's a lovely museum in there. You get in the Ghost Town car, have your picture taken in the Ghost Town car. I mean, I'd love to do that. I might have to do it, man, tomorrow. This could be a right random one, guys. But why not have a day out or a couple of nights away? Do you know what I mean? I'm just fucking stuck in here with all this paint and stuff. I might have a look on my old coach app when I get back. I get the coach. What I do is I don't bother with the trains, guys. It's just too long. And too much dough, really. I can get discount on. I can get a train discount thing, but don't do that. I get a coach. I'll get to Birmingham for like tenner. Return. You ain't getting no train for a tenner return, mate, out of anywhere. You can't even get to London from here for a tenner. Yeah, so why do fucking £100 on a train ticket when you can do a tenner on a train ticket and have the 90 quid for the two-tone shop? Phew, that's how my brain functions. That's how my mathematics works. Don't know about you, but yeah. I think when I get back. So I am still here, I'm just making myself decent, or half decent. Right. Moving around at slow's pace, man. Snail's pace. I'm not going to getting dizzy flushes, but I'm definitely getting some kind of weirdness flushing over me. Dogs have started. Happy hours just ended. And I flattened out another battery already. Where is that other battery? There it is. Now, two of my batteries are completely flat. I've got a lot of power tonight. I'll charge them up as soon as I get back. I've got a million little charge cables around here. I'll tell you what, I can't even find one. Ah, just a mess of cables. Is that one there? No. Is that one? No. Is that one? No. That one? No. No. Ah. 10 cables have got in the hand, none of them the right ones. Typical. I'll charge my speaker up instead. I found a long cable, and I might also charge my little pad up while I'm down the road. Oh. Feels quite cold actually. Fast charger. It's the only fast charger I own. That's a 30-watt charger. It's from my Huawei. Which is that phone there. What I will do though is try and put this finally ready to depart. Rough as a fucking that. Fucking rubbish in here, man. It's unreal. Might open a few windows, let some air wash through while I'm out. Going live on a drugs deal. I'll play a few records as well. Like I've had to move my decks into a different place on it up here, but oh. Very Windy. Bank card, I think I've got £1 or something. £1.15. They get me milk. Boom, 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 boom. I think we got a few pound coins up here from last night's little escapades. I need that, which is Flexi Basic card. I need to get some milk. See how many pennies we got. £2.40. Got about £3.50 then. In fact, I don't even need milk. I've got some over here. Look. I'll just get some chocolate. Oh. Just a touch. It's a result, isn't it? Oh, just found some milk. I've got to have a leak. Going to be late for the deal. I'm going to put the immersion tank on. I fancy a nice bar later on. What? Oh, it's on already. I'm just going to pause this. Where did it go? I wonder if I hit an hour with this video. Could do. What I need though is a lighter. Here we go, it's a clipper. How cold is it out there, man? It looks cold, doesn't it? Tell you what. Last of the big spenders. Hey, big spender. Right, see you in a minute.